Stephen, is it fair to say you got away lightly today, however good Norwich were?
As in what, we didn't concede more goals? Possibly, yeah. They probably had a few other chances. But at the end of the day, we lost the game because they were better than us, and we weren't good enough in too many areas of the game today.
You're certainly off the pace. What do you put that down to?
Don't know, just didn't do what we have been doing well in the last couple of games. I felt we were a little bit too passive. Took us 78 minutes to make a tackle, which is not going to get you any results against a team as good as Norwich. So yeah, weren't close enough, wasn't aggressive enough, and then when we did have the ball, we gave it back to them a bit too cheaply as well.
When Pearson went off injured, you obviously had to change the formation in the second, or you chose to change the formation. Do you know how bad his injury is?
No, not for sure yet, but thought he was doing okay then again, and again he becomes unavailable, so it did play a part in the game. I felt we just we didn't get to grips with it quick enough once he went off, and the spaces were too open in midfield, and then they went through us too easy and scored the goal. So yeah, that was the turning point. But once again, I think once we've conceded the first goal, we just don't see any sort of reaction from the lads. It's like we freeze and everybody goes in the shell, and that can't happen. Even if you go a goal down, you've got to respond and try and do something about it.
I was going to ask you about that. It looks from up here as though the heads drop.
Yeah.
You can't legislate for things like that. I know it's happened a lot of times, but what can you do in this next 10 days to try and get over that?
We speak about it all the time, Ange. Like it's something that we're aware of, and we always say all the time, you have to show courage and you've got to be brave, and someone's got to stand up and be a leader in them moments, because setbacks happen in football. You can't get it all your own way all the time, and you know, if we nearly scored today, the first goal, and we were doing okay up until the first goal of the game, we're fine, and then all of a sudden it gets away from us, and that's something that, as you said, has happened too often. And I just keep saying all the time, you've got to show bravery, like take the ball, make angles for each other, be positive. Like, so what if you make a mistake? Like, it's worse if you make a mistake. It's worse if you don't show and someone just has to boot the ball up the pitch and we lose the ball. That just does my head in. I can't get my head around it.
Bravery and confidence are very similar, aren't they? So
yeah.
You know, if you're confident, you tend to be more brave. So you've got 10 days to work on that, but it's been an ongoing thing all season.
Yeah. So we have to try and score the first goal, because, as I say, we've got 8 games to go, and you're not going to change things drastically, but I'm sure we're going to concede the first goal again in them 8 games at some point. But we have to find a way to do better when we do, and not let it affect your confidence too much. But with this group, it seems to.
You did have a good response to a setback last week at Preston, conceding the equaliser and bouncing back to score the winner. So it seems like the group has got it in them, but it just seems to get out of consistency.
Yeah, that's different, because then you're not having to chase the game and go away from it. We were still in the game, and a point away from home would have been fine. But to say, I thought we played well last week. We have been playing well. Today we were just, the last 4 games, that was the worst performance of the lot. It's probably the worst performance since I've been here in general. So yeah, it was just a bad day.
Do you think it's obviously been quite an intense period? Did that show perhaps in the way the players went about it?
I don't know. We've had a clear week this week, so I don't think tiredness or anything like that should have played a part in it. I just think we came up against a better team who were stronger than us today. They were more physical, and you could tell they were in the top 6, and we're in a relegation fight. You could definitely see the gulf in the 2 teams today, and in general over the last few games that hasn't been the case. We've played other teams who are up there in the league and did better, but today we were just way off it, and they fully deserve to win.
You can see how much losing like this, particularly at home, hurts you and hurts everybody. You must increase your determination to find a long-term fix to stop this happening.
Yeah, but we need to know a short-term answer straight away, because there's 8 games to go and there's not long left. So long-term we'll deal with that whenever we get an opportunity to, but in the immediate reflection of that game, we have to address what keeps happening, and try and do something about it in the next game.
Well, yeah, it's a disappointing way to go into the international break after what had been a pretty positive.
Yeah, but if we look at it as a whole, so we set out after the Cardiff game. There was 4 games until the international break, and we had a points tally to try and get to, and we've done more than that. So we can now go into another stretch of games where we're going obviously against a really good team next in Hull, and then a couple of other teams who are in and around us. So we have to try and just look at that and chunk it like we agreed that we were going to do. So we can't get too high from last week's win away from home, and we won't get too low this week. It's just, as I say, a game where we just weren't at it.
What's your plan for the international break?
As in?
Do you give players a rest, a period of time off? Or?
A bit of both, yeah, because there's loads of lads away as well in the international, so there'll be a little bit of training next week, and then there'll be a few days off as well to rest and recover and go again. And then when we eventually get the lads returning on the from international duty, we have to get going on a game plan to try and get something at Hull.
Yeah, big last 8 games of the season, one big final push.
Huge, but it was going to be like that before this game anyway, so I wouldn't be saying anything different if we'd have won today. I'd still be saying still 8 games, massive games to go. If we won today doesn't mean we were safe, so we have to just keep going, keep plugging away.
Rob, thanks everyone.
Thank you.